I say, not run. Don't be afraid. I will not leave you alone.
He's amazing. He's like the white Muhammad Ali. He might not talk like Muhammad Ali, but he is the Muhammad Ali of the last generation.
With an all-time great. Not a generational great, an all-time great. A generational great would almost dictate that Alexander Usyk is just a great in the last 10, 15 years. No. Alexander Usyk is a great.
Usyk clapped back at Floyd Mayweather, saying boxing isn't a street fight, it's a gentleman's sport. Real fighters don't just run their mouths, they step in the ring and prove who they are.
Hey, listen, boxing, it's sport and the gentleman. It's not a street fight, it's a boxing. Listen, boxing. It's a boxing.
Say it again.
Do you think he was being dirty during the whole fight?
I don't have idea. I have no idea.
No.
Maybe.
Analysts pointed out how different Usyk is from Floyd. While Mayweather walks with ego and arrogance, Usyk stays grounded and humble, even with all his success. He's the quiet storm greatness without the bragging.
One of the best of all time. I know a lot of people are kind of probably going to hear me say that and say, you're going too far, you're this, that. Because I've seen that straight away. As soon as Usyk did that, he's 2-time undisputed heavyweight, 1-time cruiserweight, 3-time undisputed. His resume, yes, look, at heavyweight, it's a lot of rematches, but it's the way he's doing it.
Yeah.
And he's not just, okay, he could have 10 world... Deontay Wilder has 10 world title defences.
Yeah.
Luis Ortiz and Tyson Fury are the only ones you really have any kind of weight to them. Usyk is taking on the perceived either number 1 or number 2 in these defences.
Yeah.
Fury perceived number 1. AJ at the time 1. Dubois number 2. He's taking like, all right, who's the next in line? All right, I'm fighting him.
Yeah.
That's the way he's doing it.
And he's doing it in a way in which is so beautiful to watch.
Derek Chisora couldn't stop praising Usyk's mindset and skills. He said Usyk's focus, movement, and calm under fire make him a nightmare in the ring. Outside, he's friendly. Inside, a cold, unstoppable killer. You've got to be crazy to want that smoke.
Listen, what I'm saying is this, yeah. To beat Alexander Usyk, you have to be mentally disturbed in your head. Yeah?
You have to be mentally disturbed.
Yeah, because you have to understand.
Well, to take the fight in the first place.
Yeah, because when I saw him a couple of months ago,
Yeah.
I had a coffee with him, we were just chatting. The guy lives in Ukraine.
Yep.
Yeah. He goes, oh, before I came on the plane, I was sleeping in my house, and then those missiles were going over my house, and I didn't want to go in the bunker. I was like, I'll just go to sleep. There's some craziness, isn't it? I mean, like, imagine you now, you're in your house in Barna, Timbuktu, and then missiles are going. What are you gonna be like?
Yeah, he's cut from very different stuff.
Yeah,
isn't he?
exactly.
He's
So,
cut from
and
very
then
different
remember,
stuff.
so you have to come in there looking to go to the other side because he's looking to go to the other side. Mate, can you do us a favor? Can you stop beating us up? No.
Chisora even compared Usyk to Muhammad Ali, calling him the Ali of today's era. Usyk doesn't fight with power alone. He outsmarts you with timing, footwork, and pure ring IQ. Chisora said it's like watching poetry in motion. Smooth, smart, and deadly.
Everybody gets it wrong. You don't box this guy. It's like, how can I explain it to you in a way you understand? You can't box him.
He's just too good.
He's just unbelievable great. Yeah, forget good, he's amazing. Yeah, he's great, he's amazing. He's like the white Muhammad Ali. He might not talk like Muhammad Ali, but he is the Muhammad Ali of the last generation. You understand? We have to give him the credit where it's due. Yeah. Yeah? He is that guy.
Eddie Hearn called Usyk a once-in fighter. He's trained and managed elite boxers, but Usyk stands out. From cruiserweight to heavyweight, he kept his speed, IQ, and calm. Hearn said Usyk's changed how we look at heavyweights forever.
Just, you're talking about one of the great generational. I watched the first 2 rounds, and Dubois looked really dangerous. Came out, backed him up, and then Usyk just decided, I can't allow him to back me up, so I'm going to go on the front foot and box aggressive here. And he knocked him spark out. Unbelievable. Just a true generational great.
After his latest win, boxing historians now rank Usyk as the 4th greatest fighter of all time while he's still active. It's not just about wins, but who he's beaten and how. Usyk proves greatness across weight classes and hostile crowds. The numbers back it.
What's yours, Jerry? What's yours?
Alexander is the 4th greatest fighter
On my personal all-time list.
Wow.
It's number 4. He's only behind Ali.
Oh, on your all-time list?
All time.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Only behind Floyd, Ali, and Manny. So, I'm really high on Alexander.
Usyk isn't chasing fame or headlines. He doesn't trash talk or act loud. He just shows up, outboxes champions, and lets his skills speak loud enough for the world to hear.
The WBO, Frank Warner very close. Joseph Parker is obviously a Queensberry fighter. So, there could be potential that they do what they did with this fight, what they did with the Dubois fight. It also means as well that, and maybe this is why, potentially it's because Riyadh's season shows from November onwards, and I doubt we'll see Alexander Usyk in the ring this year because it's only July, but he's only fought, and I would imagine Usyk is going to be one of these 6 to 8 month type of guys. That's the way he's been over the last 2 years. So you're looking probably February next year at the earliest when he finally fights again. So for me, it's like, right, well, that will be after the Riyadh and Ring Magazine's pay-per-views end, as in they're not going to be doing pay-per-view anymore. Maybe they look at that fight and think, Usyk Parker, it's a fight that, with the greatest respect, and Alexander Usyk is a very big name, it maybe does need that pay-per-view wall behind it in order to facilitate the purses that they could potentially forking out for it. So maybe that's why Riyadh season won't do it. Now, the Zone obviously have not ruling out pay-per-view. They're still going to do pay-per-views.
His win over Daniel Dubois showed it again. A bigger, stronger fighter got picked apart with pure strategy. Usyk dominated, stayed humble, and didn't shout he's the best. But let's be real, that win said it for him.
It was sort of broken up in different directions. Even I wasn't sure because although I believe Usyk is the fighter of the generation in this weight class, he's at an age where overnight you sort of show up and you don't have it anymore. Ali randomly lost to Leon Spinks around this age or whatnot. So you could get where all of a sudden it's not there on the night. So and you had
and heavyweights takes 1 second, one split second you're off.
Yeah, exactly. And you also had a very motivated Dubois to add to that second. Who's a very powerful puncher and has sort of this bully mentality when he gets you in an uncomfortable position. But Usyk, flawless performance technically, stepping out to that weak side consistently, mixing up the jabs, making things uncomfortable for Dubois rhythm-wise.
He seemed more aggressive, right? Normally, I think with some of the bigger guys, he slides to the weak side, slides to the weak side. This was different.
I think with Dubois, the psychology is kind of out of the bag in that you got to kind of bully the bully, and Dubois came out trying to bully him a little bit, so he started touching him and hitting him, and he started taking it to him because he started backing him up. He started putting him in a situation where he starts to doubt himself, and Dubois doesn't really come back from that very often. As a matter of fact,
he doesn't bend, he breaks.
In the fight, I thought he's a little bit awkward, Dubois. I don't know, but
he's one of those awkward strong guys.
Yeah,
he's just like super strong, awkward as hell.
He goes down and he takes the full count, and then he just gets up at 10 and walks across the ring right in front of Usyk, who's celebrating middle of the ring, like with his hands up in the air. Just casually walks right by Usyk's celebration as if he didn't just get counted out to 10.
Foreman Ali. Remember, he walks right to his corner.
Yeah, but I was like, dude, you could have got out. You waited to 10, and then
he was a beaten man.
You waited to 10, and then not only you get up, you don't even have the presence of mind to realize like I'm walking right into the picture where he's celebrating.
But Paulie, he was a beaten man before the first knockdown.
People are no longer comparing Usyk to today's champs. They're putting him in the same class as boxing's all-time icons. His journey is being written into the sport's history, a true lesson in legacy, class, and skill.
He tried to jab. He tried to throw that right hand, and he landed that right hand a couple of times, by the way. He got Alexander Usyk in the corner, and he was trying to work. But ultimately, he's in there with an all-time great. Not a generational great, an all-time great. A generational great would almost dictate that Alexander Usyk is just a great in the last 10, 15 years. No. Alexander Usyk is a great since boxing began. Since boxing began, people. Understand what we're watching here. We're not watching a generational great. We're watching an all-time great. That's what Daniel Dubois was in there with. There is a discussion in my brain right now as I'm talking to you about where Alexander Usyk is when it comes to the best heavyweights of all time. Like in my head right now, I'm thinking, who beats him?
Some fans now say Usyk may have even passed Ali and Mayweather in pure skill. Sure, Floyd went undefeated, but critics argue his resume wasn't as tough. Usyk, on the other hand, built his rep on fighting the best anywhere, anytime.
Interesting heavyweight division, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys thought of Usyk's performance, where he ranks on the all-time list.
I know, everybody was big into their nostalgia, but remember, Soviets were not turning pro until the 90s, and I think that makes a big difference. That's another thing. Heavyweights are bigger. Lefties are more common now, and also the Soviet era of fighters did not start turning pro until the 90s. So the old days, they didn't have to deal with those guys. So a lot of things that also favor Usyk being a GOAT. But of course, man, it's hard to pick against Ali being the GOAT.
Trainer Ben Davidson highlighted Usyk's crazy achievement, becoming undisputed in both cruiserweight and heavyweight divisions. That's next level stuff. Only a handful in history have done it, and Usyk did it with control, intelligence, and heart.
Makes it obviously another thing for you, but
really a good time for me to talk about that sort of thing. So,
besides just how good is Alexander Usyk? We've seen him now come into the heavyweight division, fight a Derek Chisora, fight Anthony Joshua twice, fight Tyson Fury twice, and he's the undisputed heavyweight. Well, he was until obviously the belt let go. But what do you make of him as a fighter? Just sum him up, special fighter.
Yeah, he's put himself in the mix to be. He's put himself in the mix as one of the greatest heavyweights that's ever been. So, undisputed cruiserweight, undisputed heavyweight, amazing.
Usyk's road was never easy. No soft fights, no home advantages. He went into tough territory, fought unbeaten champs, and took big risks. He didn't protect his record. He tested it, and it's paying off big.
Usyk has dropped Daniel Dubois! What a shot!
I'm sorry. I can't help it, man. I fucking love this. Honestly, I fucking love this game.
What a performance! And is he gonna quit? He's missed it! It's over! It's over! The greatest of all time!
Fuck me. I'm sorry for going on like a lunatic, right? But it was unbelievable. And it's funny how this fight all came about, right? The controversy in the last fight, which for me was never controversial. It was a low blow, simple as that. And I don't think we've ever seen Alexander Usyk ever look for an easy way to win. In fact, I think of all the fighters on planet Earth, he is the one who takes the hardest road to win. There's no tune-up fights for Alexander Usyk. It's the biggest fight in a heavier weight than he should even be fighting at, and he makes life harder for himself, not easier. And I think he has proven his character time and time again. But yet he was accused of not being, a real Christian because he was a cheat. He was accused of deserving an Oscar because he was a play actor and robbing Daniel Dubois of what should have rightfully been his, which was a world title. And after the Tyson Fury fight, Daniel Dubois stepped in the ring and called him out. And Alexander Usyk immediately turns to Turki Al-Sheikh and says, Mr. Excellency, make the fight. He had no problem in setting this up. And immediately you kind of think, he was in the middle of talking about his father, I think at the time. It was an emotional moment. That's a time where when you've accomplished what he's done, you deserve respect. And I think he was disrespected there. And I think he took that personally, in the words of Michael Jordan. Now, in the first round, Alexander Usyk did exactly what he needed to do to Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois coming in with a load of confidence, wanting to be the aggressor, wanting to be the dominant bull that he was against Anthony Joshua.
Coach Dave Caldwell praised Usyk's rhythm and precision. While most heavyweights take breaks and throw bombs, Usyk keeps up a pace that suffocates you. He never lets opponents breathe. It's pressure, with accuracy every round.
Pick up the pace, and you just still can't go with it. It takes, it does have an effect. But what I'm trying to say is, Usyk's work to the body, the volume of body punches. I'd like to see the stats on body punching, be it straights, be it a jab, be it backhands, whatever. Because Usyk's volume of body work is what I thought was the difference in the fight. His lead hand activity was probably the best it's been since he's been at heavyweight, maybe. I thought he took away, we were all talking about the Fury right uppercut. Going into the fight because he had a lot of success. We were all talking about what Tyson's going to do, but I said Usyk's clever. These people, they're going to look at that and see what they can do better.
Paulie Malignaggi called Usyk's last fight a technical masterpiece. He said Usyk was flawless, cutting angles, staying balanced, hitting without getting touched. That's elite-level boxing IQ in motion.
Dubois in their rematch stops him early. Was it 4 or 5? I don't even. I'm so caught up in the moment. I don't even know which round it was. It was 4 or 5. But man, it was in the first half of the fight. What a performance by Alexander Usyk. And a lot to discuss here, guys. A lot to break down here. First off, Dubois much more successful in the first fight than the second fight. Was the wet ring? Did the wet ring have anything to do with it? I saw in the post-fight interview, Dubois was asked about why he couldn't land his jab. What do you guys think? Was obviously Usyk's gonna make some adjustments. I think the adjustments are gonna be made in rematches. But did the wet ring? Because I thought the wet ring had a big part to do with why Usyk had some trouble in that first fight. And a wet ring hurts footwork guys more. I was a footwork guy. I've worked out sometimes in wet rings. It's frustrating. I've actually thrown temper tantrums in gyms over rings being too wet. So back in the day, not now. But what I'm saying is, to fight in a wet ring, that had to have some effect on Usyk and his footwork, because he's a footwork guy. And tonight you just saw his footwork was stupendous, magnificent.
Analyst Ruse said Usyk entered the ring with quiet rage. British media tried to downplay him, but Usyk answered the hate with fire in the ring. He wasn't just fighting, he was making a statement. Legacy sealed.
I think he went out there with bad intentions, didn't he? I think he was on a mission to prove that, 38 isn't old yet. And I was talking to some other guys, including Richie Woodall, and saying that, he's gotten better. If you look at his last 3 fights, the first Fury fight, second Fury fight, and this one, each one has gotten better, more dominating each time. So, age is a number, I guess. When you're in the gym all the time, it takes a long time to age.
When we spoke on Thursday, I could tell you were genuinely confident, but did you believe it could be so early and so conclusive?
No, I'd be lying to you if I said that. No. I thought it could be dominating. I thought he was doing the things that I think Dubois did what I expected him to do, and Usyk did what I expected him to do. He controlled, moved, waited, but then he started landing hard.
That's all for today's video. Stay tuned, more fire coming soon. Until next time.